What's going on, guys? It's Chev. Yet again, it's another sad day. Today was the ending of the Mortal Kombat 1 stress test. In the background, I got some online games that I was playing against people over on Power Duck. I was having people leave comments on my video yesterday, which was like a rage video. And also, by the way, I want to thank everybody for all the love and support on that Mortal Kombat video. It's on the trending tab. It's hard to do that on Mortal Kombat video. Super old. And also, speaking of old, I've been seeing people say things like, oh, why would you cut the fatalities and stuff out? This is like the best part. Like, in general, I'll have them cut out, but I could have a whole video. We do this every single time a new Mortal Kombat comes out. Everybody goes and reacts to all the fatalities. And there's pretty much no way to be able to monetize a video like that, even like 4 or 5 years ago. So the people that are going and saying like, oh man, YouTube is so soft now, this is not new. It's actually incredibly old. It's not like a design choice by creators to cut this stuff out like by themselves. They would love to show like just what the game is offering. Clearly, I get that it's not appropriate. So you cut out the ultra violent parts and you just have a fighting game and you're cool. Anyway, I want to give like a little review on this because I can't play at the moment. I'm just using this gameplay. Also, people were making fun of me playing against CPUs for my first 2 videos on the stress test just because I was just trying to, you know, get a feeling for the game. Here's your online gameplay against other people who literally have no idea what they're doing as well, like me. So immediately, one of the first things that people are going to do whenever they look at the game, at first I felt some type of way about it when I saw the initial gameplay over at the Summer Games Fest, and then the graphics look a little off to me. I don't know what it is. I was talking about like the graphic style and the way the characters stand out within the environment and stuff. After playing it on the PS5, I got a 1440p monitor on the higher end, and I mean, it looks super crispy. I take back what I said about like character designs and stuff like that. I actually am really liking them. Now, given we've only seen 4 characters and like 2 stages at this point, we're able to play with them anyway. Now, we have seen, or at least have heard of other characters that are supposed to be coming to the game. You gotta assume that there's what, like 18, 20 something fighters off rip, not including all the future DLC and stuff that we're gonna get. So just getting this taste of it, I'm real happy that I'm able to play one of my favorite characters, Sub-Zero. And at first, I really wasn't liking his buttons, but again, it only just takes a little bit of practice, getting used to it, and it's pretty much like riding a bike. It's crazy how many of the combos that are muscle memory just like into my fingers that I remember from like MKX. Once you start pushing buttons, it just starts coming out. It's just how it goes. It starts feeling real natural, real good. Once you get used to your character, it feels great. This kind of game, or any fighting game, just running into somebody that beats the ever-living shit out of you will probably make you uninstall. I mean, that's just kind of the nature of fighting games. I know this from experience. I'm the type of person that when I get my ass beat, I see the gap between myself and that person. I am insanely discouraged. I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's just such a stupid mindset. It's such a bad mindset to have. You'll never grow that way, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, man, I'm just not gonna waste my time. When I sit here and I queue online matches and I'm running into actual pro players, absolute demon, it's not fun to play into that kind of shit. So as a really inexperienced player that doesn't know about any of the, you know, pro players or anybody like that, anyone that is able to combo you at all on the screen and you don't know what you're doing, immediately, as soon as you see all that, you're like, I might just have to uninstall right now. Again, though, you don't have to play online. You can just sit there and, you know, run towers and do all sorts of other shit. Just run versus over and over again until it feels comfortable. That's the really great thing about the fighting games, is that even though it feels incredibly personal in terms of like a one-on-one match, and for me, that's a little bit more difficult for me to handle losses that way, because if it's a team game, I can at least at some way in my mind think that, well, I'm not going to be able to carry an entire team to victory, or me and my team just did not work together well enough. In fighting games, there's no excuse. If you get your ass beat, that's just, it is what it is. So these games, they humble you really badly, and they make you drop the ego, and if you're not going to drop the ego, you're probably going to uninstall. So yeah, Sub-Zero has felt great. I started getting more comfortable on him. I'm seeing a lot more combos within the first couple days that I didn't even know were possible, and it's just making me wish that I could still play just to be able to even attempt some of the stuff that I'm seeing now. The combos that I got on here where I'm doing like 30%, 32%, shit like that, for Sub-Zero, it's the tip of the iceberg. See what I did there? Anyway, they could very well have a character in the game that actually is more interesting to me. Like, I think when the game comes out, I do want to concentrate on Sub-Zero. Like, I feel like he'll be like the base character to go back to for myself. But with that said, Ermac isn't going to be out until, well, rumored anyway, Ermac won't be out until like DLC. One of the DLCs, I don't know if it's DLC pack 1 or 2 or whatever. I think it's 1. So who knows what the other characters are going to feel like. I might run into a character that I absolutely love. There's a character named Havoc on there that I have not actually played. I've only heard of. I've never played the character in my life. I might like him. You never know. I might love playing Smoke on this game. Who knows? And in terms of like how this game feels in terms of its pace, I can see where people are saying like, oh, it's kind of reminding me of MK11, but I don't know if I like that. But I promise you, it's really just in the way that the movement and some of the neutral works. But once you actually get confirms, it's nothing like MK11. MK11 also, it has that thing where you're able to like jump and safely kick over and over and over again. Like there's a lot of differences in this game. There's a lot less cheese in my opinion. Even though there's a lot more combo potential, I feel like in terms of really simple cheese, it's not really as prevalent as it was in MK11. MK11 had a ton of cheese. I'm sure that there's gonna be cheese, don't get me wrong, don't quote me on it. I'm just saying I didn't experience nearly as much of it. I've ran into people that are, you know, mashing down ones and shit like that, mashing down twos, their uppercuts and all that shit, but I feel like it's just a mix between MKX and MK11, which realistically to me makes this game its own game entirely. I don't think it's fair to even compare the games to MKX or MK11. It's such a hybrid and also unique between the two that it's just not even fair. You'd have to play it yourself to really understand, but I'm sure anyone that has played it gets where I'm coming from. Yeah, that's the Mortal Kombat 1 stress test. There is going to be a beta, I think, for the people that are pre-ordering in like a month or two or something like that. Definitely going to be playing that too when that comes out, and obviously on full release. It's going to be really nice too because XDefiant will probably be releasing around that same time as well, like a period of like, you know, 1 or 2 months before that, depending on, you know, whenever that's supposed to come out. They said by end of summer. That could be, you know, September something, or it could literally be in a month and a half, who knows. But yeah, again, just thank you guys so much for all the love and support on all the Mortal Kombat videos, just over the years in general, not just MK1, just all of them. I really am thankful that you guys are just around to watch anything that I'm down to play. I know I've been doing this a long time and everything, and a lot of people have told me the same thing over and over again for quite literally a decade at this point. They don't care and all this other stuff. They don't care what I'm playing. It's just still really nice to mix it up, especially when Call of Duty is the way that it is. You guys know baseline, I like playing Call of Duty a lot. Literally, I have thousands of videos of Call of Duty on my channel, but I also have hundreds of videos of other games. And also, speaking of other games, I saw that BattleBit actually has been continuously blowing up, like every day overall player count records, or even in some instances where BattleBit actually has more current players on than Call of Duty does, at least over on Steam anyway. That's just one metric, but you know what I'm saying. BattleBit is still tiny in comparison, don't get me wrong, but pointing it out because people are actually enjoying it. And I honestly think it has a lot to do with the voice chat in that game and the way that it operates and everything. Also, it's a monitored voice chat, so instead of like people saying like the not so funny, like usual shit that you hear, people will actually participate in a lot of the conversations and stuff. There's a lot of people like RPing and just screaming, and just everyone just sounds like they're having a much better time. Where on Call of Duty, even if you hear somebody speaking, they just sound like they kind of sound like me. Soul crushed, defeated. They just sound bored. Like, why are they even here? Now, given, for me, I'm not defeated or crushed or whatever. I mean, there's a Call of Duty every single year. This is not a new thing. I know that, you know, Call of Duty has gotten much more popular since Warzone, but I'm telling you, welcome to the cycle. This happens all the time. Yeah, BattleBit had 86,000 people in 24. That's really good. That's actually, wait, they had their 24-hour peak literally yesterday. That's amazing. Look at this number. That is hilarious. Now, while that's a great number, you know, Call of Duty is still Call of Duty. It's massive. At the moment, they have more players on there, but I'm not even trying to draw like comparisons at that point. But what I noticed here is that when you see this, we had a ton of bleeding. There was a ton of bleeding ever since this whole thing came out. Everybody started playing, then month over month, it has just dropped exponentially. A 40-something% decrease over here. 20-something% decrease. This is where everybody was feeling like, you know, they're losing hope and everything like that. Then here, it's interesting because I don't really feel like anything really changed that substantially with the last update, other than Vandal. Did Vandal actually prevent them losing even more? They're about to dip under just 100K. This is just on Steam though. Even though the overall number is just a percentage, it's still a trend. So this is a big deal. To have like a hard percentage like that hit, you know, that's a positive, that's green. It's still its second lowest peak player count out of all of them. So if you guys do want to see some Call of Duty and stuff and just see what's going on, I mean, yeah. BattleBit is just so unserious. It's just, it just sounds fun to play in general. Anyway, thank you guys so much for all the love, and yeah, it's been Jeff, guys.